Okay, hope everybody's doing good and enjoyed the day. Got a beautiful day out there today, so it was awesome to see some fans in the stands, see the media, let you guys see a full day for the most part. Obviously, some form of a practice there. It was nice to get as game-like simulation as we can without taking it totally to the ground. Come on in, boys. I'll wait a minute. I'll start over for you. But, so it was good that way. Coaches were in the booth. We're using the headset communication. Again, on opposite sidelines, just to see the operation, get the calls, execute. We were very vanilla on both sides of the ball. I think you guys can see that when we get everybody back, the pieces are in place to have a heck of a football team. I think that's what's exciting for us. I think obviously we're down 9 defensive linemen right now. Expect it 6 for sure to be ready. By camp for sure. Close to 100%. Down maybe down a few for a month or so at the beginning of the season, but we have good depth there. That was one of our positions where we had great depth, and all of a sudden, bam, we get whacked with some injuries. So it's always good to have the big guys, and we should get those guys back. Outside of that, we had a lot of surgeries from last fall. So, quite a few guys were not participating to begin with, or very limited, this spring. But I'm pleased. I think you could see the operation. I think you could see offensively some pace. I was glancing, you guys may have looked, but I always like keeping my eye on it. And in that situation, I mean, it seemed to me that the ball was snapped with about 20 seconds, just about every time or more. You guys may have analyzed it better than I have, but just at my first glance looking at it, looked like we were getting some plays in and out. Guys were getting the formations and executing. We have some playmakers. Again, with Coach Henman, it's always difficult because certain things you're doing, certain things you're working on. You don't want to put too much out there that's going to be totally open via the internet or film. You know what I mean, for people to watch. That. But I'm pleased. I think that the players have worked really hard. When you think about how long it is for them, I mean, we get these guys up every day. Around 6 o'clock, 6:30, and they're in there grinding, so it gets old. It gets old on them beating up on each other. I thought they pushed through this week very well. We have a couple that we can follow up on that we'll go light, that we'll work on ourselves. We'll work on some things that we need to educate them on for the summer. Possibly even take a look at future opponents and things of that nature for 2 practices that we have left. So overall, good day, productive. I think you could see the talent from all 3 of our quarterbacks. I think Cutter's going to be frustrated with the way I ended that game right there today. But getting everybody reloaded and back on that. I didn't want to get a penalty for the defense running on the field there. So, but Cutter's going to be one heck of a football player. Obviously, you saw Brock and the way he operates, a very, very good football player. It's great to have Bo back. Bo is much improved from when he left here. He's much stronger, he's bigger, he's got a great presence about him. A lot of confidence in him, and Brock has had a tremendous spring. So today it was hard for him, but you got to look at how much depth we have and putting it all together and everything, but extremely talented. I think our receiver group is as deep as it's been since I've been here. We got to continue to build the offensive line, get the defensive line healthy. So we got our work to do, but very excited. So yeah.
It was just we had you talked about how well the offense was executing early and how clean it was, and then last week it was a little sloppier for your liking. How did today kind of stack up to that?
It was better than last Saturday. And that's why I challenged the guys. I think, last Saturday, they knew, the normal, I told you in 12 years, the normal, we're going to the ground, complete physical scrimmage last Saturday. The fact that we weren't doing that, I don't know if that played into it, but we just went out a little lackluster. It gets like that. It gets stagnant during spring. Like I said, they're up early every morning. We're grinding them every day, and they're competing against themselves and with no game, to look forward to. So it gets old from time to time, but I thought today they were much more focused. Again, not perfect, a lot of things to clean up on, but I thought the DBs challenged some things. We tried to get the ball down the field a little bit. The defense kept some things in front of us.
Mark, you mentioned that last play, Jeremiah Anglin flashed
Yeah.
several times there.
Yeah, and he's really just coming back off injury, and quite a few. We're when we get it back at full tilt, we're pretty deep at that position. So he's pretty far down the depth chart, but it's been hard for us because he's been injured. He's been injured a lot, and he's really just getting back out there.
Mark, speaking of how eager you are to have everybody come back and how well your newcomers are doing.
Yeah, the newcomers have really picked things up really good. There's all that whole class. I'm just very impressed with. From the twins to B-Rob to Cutter, as I mentioned, Patterson. I mean, it's just a good group, all of them. We like them. They're good football players and getting better.
Obviously, it's hard to gauge when you're not going to the ground, but how much can Brock's legs be a weapon?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a point. You could see he has that comfort level. There's from opponents, if you sprinkle that in 4 times a game, it's aggravating, with the Zion runs. And then the ability to pull it down and get some tough yards, it's always there, We saw it with Will when he was fresh, and healthy his junior year, what a weapon that could be.
Well, the one scramble drill too, he kept his eyes downfield. Yeah. Is that one of those things, is scramble drill a rep kind of thing you get comfortable with where you can start making those plays?
It is, and I think he definitely has that presence. I've seen it, I've seen it in games, and I've seen it in practice, and he is the type of guy that was very much kind of waiting for that receiver to shut it down. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. You know what I mean? So I think with more reps and more work at that, they'll all get better.
Mark, in terms of generating some pass rush off the edge, has anybody stepped up this spring?
Well, I think, JJ has his, again, but JJ's been around a long time, and we expect him to. I think, he definitely, will give us some pop, but, all those guys are getting better. We need to continue to get better.
Mark, because of all the injuries and when you had to adjust today and through practice, how much more challenging, if at all, is it to study video in the off-season and think about what you're going to do, changes and anything else?
No, that part of it, schematically for us, where we are and where we want to go, that part isn't difficult for us. I think we could kind of, forecast, what we are and what we can do. And, we're always working at that. Coaches have a lot of time and love looking at film and watching new plays and all that kind of stuff. So that's never ending for us.
We're running a lot of balls on the ground. Is that one of those where you walk off the field feeling good about how they execute, especially in the pass game?
It definitely was. I think we just pitched and catched and made the routine look routine today. I think, again, it's not a fair assessment for Cutter late. You know what I mean? I think, he's got guys breathing down his neck I'm sure all the quarterbacks would love to get some reps with one wide receivers and tight ends, and looks a little different. So, but yeah, I think it was relatively clean. And even though, even today was less than normal, but even more thud and then more practice, and our normal practices are pretty physical, and even the running backs are fumbles, very few on the ground. So
when Brock got thudded to the ground, was there some words for TJ?
I didn't know who that was that hit him. Yeah.
Mark, do you anticipate adding more in the portal in this next window, or are you fairly okay with where you're at?
Yeah, we'll see. There's a lot of things that factor into that. So, we'll see what we're at.
Okay, last question from somebody, anybody?
Mark, do you expect to lose in the portal in this next period?
I need to lose a few. I need to get to 85, so, you know what I mean? So if I want to gain some, I got to lose a few. You know what I mean? So, yeah. All right, thank you.
We're gonna bring players in here and we'll go up the podium, okay?